A holding tank A has a length of 20 feet, a width of 15 feet, and a height of 9 feet. Another holding tank B has a square base and a height of 12 feet. Both tanks hold the same quantity of liquid when full. And so here we have the diagrams, and they want us to, it says calculate the volume of the holding tank A when full. So here we have holding tank A, and they want us to determine the volume of this holding tank when it's full. Now, what is the volume of the shape? Well, the volume of holding tank A when full is going to be equal to the length times width times height. The length is 20 feet, the width is 15 feet, and the height is 9 feet. And so we have to multiply these three. And when we multiply them, we get 2,700 feet cubed. And so this is definitely the volume of holding tank A when full. This is the answer. It says now they want us to determine the base length X of holding tank B. And so that's what they want us to figure out. What is the length of X, right? What we have to do is we have to create this formula. Not formula, we create this equation. And what's the equation? Well, the equation is volume of B equals volume of A. Now, why do we say that? We say that because it says here both tanks hold the same quantity of liquid when full. So that means that their volumes are the same. So the volume of B is equal to the volume of A. Now, what is the volume of B? Well, notice that the volume of B is going to be length times width times height. Now, what is the length? The length is X, the width is X, but the height is 12. And so we have X times, this dot means times. So we have X times 12. So length times width times height, okay? It's equal to the volume of A. What is the volume of A? Well, we just figured that out. The volume of A is 2,700. And so what we have to do is we have to multiply. We have X times X, and X times X is X squared. So we have X squared multiplied by 12. Now this dot means multiply, okay? And so we have X squared multiplied by 12. And then when we have that, we have 12 times X squared, which is 12X squared. And so we have 12X squared is equal to 2,700. Now what we have to do is we're gonna divide both sides of this equation by 12. And we cancel this with that until we get that X squared is equal to 2,700 divided by 12. And when we do that, what we have to do is we have to divide these two, right? So we have X squared is equal to 2,700 divided by 12. We divide these two numbers. So we have 2,700 divided by 12, which is 225. And so what we actually have is X squared is equal to 225. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the square root of both sides. This cancel with that. And so we are left with X is equal to the square root of 225. So that means that X is equal to 15. So the base length X of the holding tank B is actually 15 feet. All right, so the answer here is 15 feet. That's the answer to this question, 15 feet.